Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Fata Morgana playthrough. Now I've got some really quite unusual stuff on offer today because we've not only got the well, we're going to look into more of chapter 4, as you can see. I don't know where this is, but it's an absolutely beautiful background. If anything, it's a very, very unusual style, and it gives such a magical and enchanted feeling that is so cool. I'm going to be excited to read about this, but yeah, we've seen the development of Michel and the white-haired girl, and also the, as you can see here, the censoring of the backlog and the presence of Morgana as well, and obviously the whole mystery of the story, feeling like it has the potential to all come together in this chapter. I don't know if it will or not, but yeah, might as well see. Oh my god, let's reread the weird box food delivery and book delivery as well scene, where Michel gets all of that delivered to him. Yeah, but serious, fuck's sake, I accidentally right-clicked. That's so annoying. But yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, no, sorry, I meant to say this very, very unusual question that I want to know the answer to as well. But the only thing is, I don't really understand why the family are delivering him stuff. It kind of feels as if they're supporting it in a way. They're supporting his well-being, but then they never say a word to him. Maybe somebody's just forced to do this and by somebody else who cares for Michel and doesn't really care to talk to him. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I wonder if there's something more to that. Yeah, how does he feel about it? That's a very good question. And what was his connection with Morgana as well? This is a beautiful song, by the way. That is true if the curse actually exists. That's unusual. I suppose she's branded a witch because of her appearance, so obviously something that has associations with magic and the occult. If that's told to her, she's not going to be like a lot of people would be at the time and just blindly believe it without questioning it whatsoever. Yeah. I don't understand this. I really don't. Maybe we are going to see a very adequate reason as to why this person is considered to be quote-unquote cursed. Many things are buried here, right? Oh god. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, it does kind of give you the impression of a graveyard. I see that. It just has colours you would associate, the green and purple colours that you may associate with, I don't know, Halloween, for example, themes that are quite popular when you think about graveyards. That's kind of why it doesn't surprise me that something as sick as this could be present in a place like this. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, sure, that is a reasonable question, but at the same time, it does partly, it's partly because of the fact that she's within the darkness of the mansion, no light at all. I feel like it's something that you really wouldn't notice much when everything changes. and obviously when you adapt. But yeah, that is interesting. I mean, you would have thought that, considering that this mansion is covered in darkness, and let's be honest, Michel does not clean this place, you would have thought there'd be decomposers, like rats or, I don't know, any sort of bacteria. That's really interesting. Is this like a forest of the dead or something? Okay, I mean, sure, if you killed the animals, then, I mean, okay, why you would do that in the first place, that's anybody's question, but, if you have killed the animals, then surely there are going to be some more animals that come. This is not going to be the end to any animal that ever comes into the forest, surely? Isn't that a bit ridiculous to think? What? He really... Huh? God, you really get an impression of somebody who has a greater connection with the world than the average person would in scenes like this. God, I know. It's probably going to be that he's going to kill us or something ridiculous. I don't know. You have got to be kidding me. So this person's skin is going to be the thing that kills. Jesus Christ. Something like this could either be very useful or, as we have seen in this example, absolutely horrible. And I mean, I get that a point like this feels so unusual that it's hard to vocalise it and make the other person believe, so it would be more sensible just to show visual proof so that there is nothing that these people can deny. They can't deny what they have seen. It's harder for them to deny what they have seen than what they have listened to. Doesn't mean a poor innocent butterfly needed to die for it, but okay. Oh my god, that's weird. It really is interesting seeing this. You really do wonder what Morgana's thoughts on the curse are. This is so weird though. And what about Morgana herself? Is she somebody who possibly is vulnerable to the curse as well, or does she control it? Jesus Christ. Yeah. God, never touch this man, seriously. Unless you want to suicide, I suppose, but still. Yeah, but what happened in order for it to exist? I mean, this clearly isn't natural. I know. I know, exactly. Oh, God. I mean, to be fair, it must be convenient. You don't like somebody, they've, I don't know, they have upset you and you've not got your way out of something. Oh, just can I just touch you, please, just for a second? Oh, Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, you're going to be killed when I even put my finger on you. That's hilarious. Oh my god. God. Don't go grave digging. I see. That's fair. God damn. Because he is terrified of this person. I would never... I don't blame him. But if anything, I mean... Why is it the case that with these weird hands... He can touch this candle and yet there can still be... I suppose it's more a metaphorical concept, but at the same time there's still life. There's still sign of a flame and still sign of things working. So I suppose it's just biological life rather than metaphorical life as well, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it must be horrible. I mean, something like this, it's enough to totally ruin your life. Very unusual. Yeah, that's interesting, but... Inevitable misfortune, though. He was saying that anybody who came to this mansion would meet their demise, obviously, because of him, but if she understands the precautions that need to be taken, then why would Michel eventually kill us? Yeah, it's a concern for safety. Oh, yeah, that... Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, because that could literally kill her. It just feels like there's such... I don't know, if I felt like I just grasped all of this meaning which supports all of these being out, all of the actions being out of concern for me, and then he just says that, my god, I'd feel so defeated. You dislike people and yet you're letting her live. He's being very honest to Giselle here, can I just mention? Very, he's opening up a lot. Want to try it out? Be my test subject? I know. Yeah, totally. That is reasonable, so maybe she could leave and evacuate and try to find a new beginning. Yeah, but it is interesting that he has a real disinterest for people, and he also has this condition which makes it so that he can't go... God. That he can't go near people, so I suppose he can't interact with people and he has no interest in doing so. I mean, at least he's not one of the people where, well, I don't know, he lives socially. Imagine being a very sociable person and yet having something like this. God. I know, it really is. I mean, I don't really understand why he forces himself to live in the most darkness he can, though. What was that all about? I mean, sure, he wants to isolate himself from people and anything that would give him indication of life, but why is it the case that that he wants to see wants to see light so little? And why was he actually cursed in the beginning anyway? We've seen the effects of his curse, we don't know the reason behind it. Yeah, it must be horrible. Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ, because I suppose there probably would be some times within the beginning where, I don't know, you forget that you've had a curse, or you've forgotten that, I don't know, something like that is affecting you, and you just live life like you're used to, and then somebody dies as a result or something. God, I know. Yeah, she's really, really understanding. Must be horrible, it really must be. Yeah. Must be such a vivid lifestyle. And is she going to... Yeah, I thought so. Because she understands him. Yeah, that is a very, very good point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like it's a bit of a cover-up. Yeah. And if anything, because of that fact, you can just see every... Oh my god, isn't that interesting? The fact that that was censored. Out of everything that was censored, that was the only thing. Wow. Imagine if all of the lies are censored. Yeah, you do wonder, just considering that Michel he might be a really kind-hearted man. If you think about that, then you think about the talk about the fact that it could be likely that... Wait, what was I going to say? Hang on. Also, Michel's just pretending to show disinterest within us, and why he wants us to leave desperately. It could just be because, and he could be pretending to be interested so that he's making us be put off by his lack of interest. You could just think that, so that he tries to make us not want to be here, no matter what we do. And that's just so that he has less risk of accidentally killing us or doing something that he himself would really regret. And obviously making it so that we can live as well. Yeah. Yeah, and I do wonder what he's going to think about that. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and I suppose that does kind of explain why they see each other so infrequently as well. Yeah, that is very, very reasonable, yeah. And if anything, I mean, this person had just casually arrived in the house. There was no rejection, there was no feeling provoked, there was no him being very, very mean as well and shouting and just trying to make her feel intimidated. There was none of that. Which, let's be honest, a lot of people would have done. He's unusually kind. But the only thing is, I mean, some really kind people, they just can't admit to themselves that they are, in fact, good people. And maybe that's the case with Michel, or maybe there is something... Maybe he's kind now, but there's something really bad he's done in the past. And, I mean, I'm sorry, but this curse, if we tie it into Morgana... I mean, I know nothing about this character, sure, but maybe he's done something to really, really upset her, and that's why he just can't accept the fact that he is kind. I don't know, though. I'm just kind of making conjecture based on things I have no idea about, which is probably not the best move. True. Because a lot of people would have tried to chase her out. God, look at his face. I don't know what he looks like. He looks angry. He looks provoked. He definitely doesn't look happy. I think that's an emotion we can rule out. Yeah, you can see the rejection. The self-rejection. Well, I mean, that is reasonable, but if they are very, very careful, they can do this. They can live a life together. But I mean, we have just been justifying why we find Michel to be kind. I do see that in a way. I mean, he has the power of giving people instant death. So, staying with him kind of feels as if... I suppose even though he is being really considerate to try and make it so that we aren't killed, he's... he could still argue that we have no value for our life if we are staying with somebody who can so easily take it away. Yeah, fair enough, and if anything, that kind of makes them really good candidates for each other. Yeah, I like that she's emphasising this. Just emphasise that you could do this, but you are not going to because of him. And I don't believe that he doesn't care about us. I feel like he's just playing that role, if anything. Role of the person that doesn't give a damn, but actually does. True. Yeah, because people are not kind. The world is brutal. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's horrible. It's an awful lifestyle. Yeah, just yourself. Yeah. Don't blame her whatsoever. Yeah. Totally reasonable. Yeah, and it's just, he kind of wants to chase her out just because he is, I suppose he says that he's not really concerned, but I think he definitely is. But he's concerned for our life. Like he said, do we really value our life if we are staying with this person? But, yeah. If anything, he's being the one who's being obnoxious and overbearing, not the one who's being kind, just simply because of the fact that he is trying to do something we don't want. It might be the most sensible thing, but this is not your average person. This is probably very, very different to everybody he has seen before. God, why does he have the self-hatred? Seriously, I mean, what did he do to himself to deserve this? But to be honest, I mean, you can't deny that he is in the dark for the entirety of his life. How do you live a happy life with that much darkness? No, better question, can you live a happy life with such a lack of exposure to sunlight as well? Yeah, that's reasonable, yeah. It's just horrible for him because this curse has resulted him liking somebody, really finding it good that somebody's finally accepting him, but wanting to push them away. Yeah. And it's interesting that, yeah, it happened before, it seems. Jesus, that's rough. That is really, really... After his... But what? Right, Right, so that's what that type of nurse is. Jesus Christ. So it's not even... That's so weird. It's just as if all of the details of what has happened to Michel and all of the details about Michel in general, they're really, really censored within the backlog. This kind of feels like Morgana's interpretation, or maybe her telling of the story. Maybe we're viewing the maid's telling of the story here, and then in the backlog we're seeing how Morgana twists the story. I don't know. But Jesus Christ, this is awful. Yeah, so it's just, you have somehow had this since you were born, and it's just opened you up to a lifetime of people being unable to accept you, people fearing you, nobody wanting to talk to you at all. Yeah, it must have been awful. I mean, no wonder he's so shut off. He's always been. I'm actually impressed that he is... Well, I mean, he has books. He's clearly literate. And he has really quite good speaking ability as well. I mean, I'm just genuinely impressed that's possible because of how little social interactions he probably had when he was a kid, just because of his illness. Oh god, yeah, totally. God! Oh my god. Imagine being in a crowded area. Imagine being in a crowded area and then Michel turns up. God. Yeah, that's totally reasonable, just because it's too painful. Exactly. Interesting. Yeah, that's fair enough. If I'm going to be honest, these people have always been... I mean, Michel hasn't been persecuted as such. I mean, I'm sorry, but if he was somebody who was persecuted, then the family would never have cared about him and never provided him with a house and food and stuff like that. No way. But I suppose that his family may care about him, but at the same time that's just why he feels so much guilt, and he feels persecuted just because of, well, not really persecuted, but separated because of who he is. And lonely. So lonely. And the white-haired girl's also the same with that loneliness theme, just because of the level of persecution that she's getting, just because of how she looks. Looks like a witch. Well, to their eyes. He's not imprisoned here, but it's more like he's imprisoned by who he is imprisoning himself, in a way. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to listen to this song on my phone, just in my bed, and oh my god, it's going to be the most atmospheric experience. Good for her. I mean, she is a person who is very interested, who also experiences the same thing, and a person who could really bond with Michel. They can never touch each other though, never. They've got to be careful with even the slightest thing. If I'm going to be honest, I'm quite surprised that, I don't know, cross-contamination can't happen. I mean, for example, I don't know, if let's say you touch a door handle. No, let's say there's a doorknob you need to pull. Michel pulls the doorknob, and then, I don't know, we pull it a few minutes later or something like that. Just because we need to follow him. I mean, I'm surprised that there'd be no, I don't know, picking up of the curse there or something ridiculous like that. God, I do wonder if there was some sort of scientific equivalent of this, what it would actually be. Michel must be a very, very strong person. I mean, my God, who would not go mad if they had something like this? And they would be the biggest threat ever. I mean, obviously, unless guns unless guns existed, but still. In an environment with no armed weapons, you would be a very big threat. No matter how good at, I don't know, for example, martial arts, fighting, taking people down you are, you touch this person and then you are dead. Yeah, I totally agree. They have the same fear. Yeah. It must be so awful for Michel. He clearly desires to be with people, but he always needs to push them away just because, I don't know, for example, he doesn't want a repeat of what happened with his family. Well, it's because he is kind. That's why. Are you going to meet that somebody else, though? Ever? What if that somebody is you? Is vigor kind of like courage? Physical strength and good health. Okay. Not courage, motivation, etc. Okay. But yeah, that does make sense given the context. She's finding it really hard to explain why. God. Yeah. It's going to be a very awkward relationship. Weird transition. What are we seeing now? Oh God, what's this? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, and it really is just so unusual that you really can't deny that it just feels like something that firstly could not be possible could not be possible to happen just when explaining it by human evolution. It just feels like some sort of higher power has intervened, and I can see why it could easily be explained through religion. Yeah, but it's horrible. It really is. Yeah, I agree. I like that, yeah. Something that can only exist on words up on the page. Yeah. That is fair enough. Nothing's censored here. Yeah, I see that. Interesting. The fact that we are phenomena ourselves. I mean, look at the mirror, there was nothing there. I think she's alluding to that. Yeah, doors to the past, that makes sense, of course. This very mansion. I wouldn't be surprised if Michel was thinking, it must be awful, especially in times like these with religious traditions, just the amount of associations you can think just to provide an alternate explanation for what is truly going on. You can think you're cursed, you're somebody who the devil has, you're the incarnation of the devil or something ridiculous like that. I know, it's not as if he doesn't want to, and the worst thing is, it's not as if he's a bad man, it's just that he can't. He seriously can't because he is too scared of taking their lives away, which is totally, it is totally reasonable and understandable. Reasonable. No, nobody is. Fair. Yeah, totally. Yeah, fully fair. Yeah, this is the troubling thing. I mean, he's been pushed aside, rejected. Well, actually, I mean, he's been shunned, and obviously he's been really, really restrained by his physical condition. And he's just been... life has treated him so badly compared to anybody else. So, of course, somebody like him, when being shown immense kindness, you're just not going to know what it is you are being shown. So, of course, you're just going to interpret it with really unknown eyes, really. You just don't know what you are dealing with. Yeah, and it is interesting. I mean, I suppose you are having an opportunity to express emotions that you haven't really had the experience to express ever, just considering that he's shunned, his life is so difficult as well. I just wonder how he lives. If anything, I'm actually quite surprised that he's been living in this mansion for 10 years only. I thought it would have been a lot longer, like maybe 20 or 30. He does not look... Actually, I do wonder how old Michel is. Because I think he looks around like maybe late 20s or 30, something like that. So I would have thought that he would... I mean, he couldn't have been living in his house for 10 to 20 years. That's a bit ridiculous. I just wonder how long he has been living in his house before they decided to make it so that he would move. Yeah, this is fair. There's probably such a huge amount of people who have been put off as a result of knowing this truth, and yet she is similar because she sees herself in Michel, and that's probably why. Well, it's not just that. She's kind. This is a really quite beautiful ambient song. Yeah. Yeah, my god. I mean, at least she was honest. Oh my god, I really... No, it's interesting. When Michel asks not to come to his room, I do wonder what that's all about. Oh my god, I know. You could never know what would have happened with somebody as insecure as Michel. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for feeling like that. It's very understandable. Interesting. Well, I mean, he's doing a very good job at announcing that if she's still here. Yeah, I really do wonder what he's thinking about. Reasonable. No, I mean, it's such a tricky situation because she's been very, very kind to Michel, but at the same time, because Michel has always been shunned, he just doesn't know how to take it. It's just stressful for him because of how little kindness he's ever been shown in his life. And I see what she's thinking. She's just so worried about anything that he could be doing, really. And sorry, I meant anything that could be happening to him. Fair. Very, very selfless. Oh, the hesitation. Oh, oh god. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah. It's best for both people, obviously. Well, it could go badly, but at the same time, at least you would have tried. Oh my god, that's bad. Michelle's eyes look so weird in that sprite. Oh my god, that's very true. Yeah. I really do wonder why. Yeah, I mean, this is the worst thing because I suppose she was kind of... Oh, I don't know. What she was wanting to do is give Michel a clear indication of the fact that he is not alone here and that she is willing to be somebody who will be there for him. But I can see why she's worrying in the sense that she said her feelings too honestly. And she was being such a thing as too kind just because of the fact that I suppose she was just trying so hard to convince Michel that she wants to stay here for a good reason. And obviously thinking about the burden it could have placed on Michel, but let's be honest, that is only the worry of a really kind person. Yeah, my god, isn't it interesting? You can just see how isolation and also just in general rejection of other people around her. It's interesting how that kind of encourages her to kind of think about the same traits, just have the same thinking patterns that Michel does in this sense. Oh my god, yeah. She's thinking that Michel possibly... Now she's kind of submitting to what Michel wanted originally because it could be too much of a burden on him. But at the same time, that's such a bad thing to do just because this is the most kindness he has ever been shown. He really needs to... He needs to hang on to this connection. He really does. my god, it's awkward. It's just all because of how she is interpreting Michel's feelings to be. Yeah. She's clearly going to stay, and I think she should too. Not for her sake only, but also for Michel's sake. I'm surprised. Wow, I'm really surprised. That shows a real increase in their closeness. God, this is going to be exciting. I see, so this is Michel's room. I remember seeing the master's room when we were looking into everything about the story of the mansion we were seeing on our own rather than with the maid, and I remember seeing a person in black, and obviously all of this in colour as well, and obviously in the daylight, and just seeing the unusual conversations that were going on there. And it really reminds me of it's exactly the same room, ironically. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to sleep for a second. Right, okay, here we go. We are back. Just gonna move my mic a bit. There we go. Oh my god. The fuck? I don't remember this. What? What? Dude, okay, this is weird. I've got to rewatch it just to confirm I'm not tripping on something. Dude, what the fuck? This is so creepy. This text here, this laughter, it wasn't included at all in the text that we have just read. I was right to question that. That's so weird. Oh my god, what is... I just kind of get the impression that there is something we're really not being told about this story. Weird. Yeah, that's interesting. It does kind of make sense, though. This just gives me suspicion. What also gives me suspicion is when we saw Michel kind of confess to why he is quote unquote cursed, that cold smirk on his face. I just don't really understand why there would ever be the need for something like that. Those are the two things that don't really sit correctly with this. What? Oh yeah, I suppose if there's any drastic movements, the bell can ring, maybe? Like, I don't know, somebody could suddenly just jolt backwards and then there would be an indication audibly with the bell chiming. Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah. And you can definitely tell that he has in his heart interest for the better for a better long-term state of their relationship, really. Yeah, you can definitely tell that. Yeah, you can definitely tell that he is positive about what the white-haired girl has said. And he's probably really quite positive about the fact that she's staying. He only sees the world as he sees it, rather than others. And in a way, that's what makes him so unique. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that's probably what is going to motivate her to wear said necklace. Or at least, thing that looks like a necklace. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna screenshot this. Reasonable. No, she isn't. It's still something, it doesn't matter whatsoever. It's still something you have spent the time and consideration and thought making for another person. Oh yeah, that is fair. Yeah, I see what you're saying actually. Yeah. It's very thoughtful of him. She doesn't even care, probably. I think that's actually the first time I've seen him be called Lord. I didn't realise that he was a Lord. Yeah, good. Yeah, add that personal touch to it. Yeah, but it is interesting that Michel was saying that he has little perception of how other people act and, yeah, how most people see the world. So obviously, we would think that as a result of him not wanting to see Giselle for quite a few days, the relationship has potentially gone wrong between them, and maybe he hasn't wanted to continue it for whatever reason. But no, it's more the case that that he's concerned for Giselle and he wants to put things right so that they can have more of a time together. And it's just the opposite conclusion that you draw compared to the one that you would make. Compared to the one that you would make if you were thinking about just any random person. Yeah, so it's interesting how he really acts in his own way. That could be a good thing. It could also be a very bad thing. I don't know. I mean, yeah, true, but I would have thought there'd be a reason why he's so holed up in the dark. Is there really no reason to it? What the fuck? This is scary, man. Images are slithering into my head, replacing my memories before they can resurface. Stop. So weird. I just don't really understand this. So it feels as if the telling of this story is possibly rewriting what has actually happened. God, that's so weird. It's actually quite unsettling just to think that what is being told here could be a possible lie. The maid could be really distorting these tales. I don't know. But why do we have memories of this in the first place? That's my question. Jesus Christ. Yeah, me too. Who would do that? Because you really do get the impression that he is imprisoned here. Just in the sense that they made him whoever decided for him to come here deliberately made it so that everything was boarded up. No light was present whatsoever. I'm so surprised. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, he didn't exactly lock his door. I can't believe he hasn't locked his door, to be honest. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. And if anything, it's kind of the best place for her. And ironically, it's like, this is like all of the other variants of the white-haired girl to a certain extent, because that's the case for those other variants as well. She has sensitivity to sunlight. God, why? What is this? I just really wonder what this is trying to tell us. Yeah, fair enough. It doesn't even matter that you can't have exposure to sunlight. It only matters that you are somebody who has a good heart. And obviously, in a situation like this, for somebody like Michelle who really, really needs it, it's very nice to have somebody like that. Interesting. What the fuck? What was that? Oh my god. What the fuck is going on? I'm so scared. God, what is the real thing? I hate this. This is fucking terrifying. What are these fucking sound effects? This is so creepy. What? Okay. What is this corruption? I just don't really understand. So, what? I mean, what is going on? Dude, this is fucking terrifying. In a way. I just know so little of what's going to come next. This is so weird. I mean, okay. So, I just don't understand why everything here, sure, it's reasonable. You're apprehensive of her, and now you want her to stay with you just because of the fact that you are somebody who yearns her company because she's kind, she's nice, and she's just a good person. But I just don't understand why that was painted with the picture of such unsettling conditions was painted, and also the really, really weird sound effect. Dude, it sounded like somebody's corpse was being fucking gutted, and then I don't even know. Just murderous sound effects. And this as well. There's always been an indication. Well, we're now getting an indication in the backlog that our memories are being rewritten somehow. Maybe the maid is truly trying to remap our memories, but why? What is the purpose of doing so? It's a very sweet story. And a story that, I mean, obviously the love between them can continue. Michelle has to be very, very careful. He knows it's foolish and it can't possibly last, but do you really know that? That's nice, yeah. I just find it unusual that all of the windows have been shut since he came to the mansion. It just really feels as if he was incarcerated there from the beginning. Yeah. That's really nice, yeah. They're just beginning to increase the amount of things they do together. Oh, yeah, I don't blame him. Oh, I suppose. Yeah, you get to know him more by him trying to teach you something more. That's really cool. And if I'm going to be honest, I'm actually surprised that this person was educated. He must have had quite a few years just in his usual background before everything occurred that required him to move here. God, I just find this so fucking weird. Seriously, and all of the censoring as well. I wonder what that actually is trying to tell us. Maybe that's us who's talking. I don't know. That is really impressive. She has learnt a lot. Fair enough. God. Seeing random people's diaries, yeah, that must be very boring. Very, very boring. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this story, for example. Here you get to see an insight into somebody's imagination and, in general, just consume said imagination in a way, because you're consuming the book, and just go to places that you have never gone to, experience things that you never really thought were possible, and obviously learn about them. It's funny with fiction because obviously the plots aren't real, but you learn about the world in a way as if said fiction was real. The fiction's great, man. I mean, all of the visual novels I've read are fiction. Of course they would be. Non-fiction can be interesting, but it just really depends on how it's presented. The fiction's always better though, if you ask me. Yeah, like this story. Maybe it's as if the maid rewriting the memories of us, or at least that's what's hinted to happen. Maybe that could be like getting a little glimpse into the maid's heart and what wants to happen, and her bias faced by what she wants to happen, affecting things. I'm surprised. Interesting. Yeah, I like what she's doing. Very, very true. Just reassure him that he's special. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. True. I'm surprised they can actually touch the same book. Can I just mention that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, she's probably putting it in a place that is visible for Michel. Well, Michel's lucky he has good eyesight then, my god. God, it must have been so horrible to have bad eyesight in times like these. Like, if you're really, really short-sighted and can't go a day without glasses, for example. Oh my god. Wow, this is going to be interesting. Oh shit. Imagine if it's going to be similar to Michel's Curse, where fiction becomes a weird reflection of reality. Oh my god. Right, expect anything. Ah, right. Completely censored. This is just folklore. It's just fiction written by one random person. So, got to interpret this with a grain of salt, but... Anything censored? No. I see, so that's really unusual. So it's interesting. The witch has died, and then as a result of that, if you can maybe feel as if she does coincidentally have magic powers, because all of the smoke has turned into rainwater. Well, what was turned into precipitation, and that precipitation has somehow made people mad. Something only a witch could do. But, I mean, let's be honest, there are a lot of other explanations. I mean, there's a fight for food, greed, I don't know, just in general, emotions that aren't very nice, which could start conflicts. I mean, it could be explained with a human cause, but, yeah, it's obviously a folklore story, so the witch is probably what caused this. Yeah, God, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, this is what a real witch is, rather than just the object of somebody's persecution, like a human being who looks different. This is an actual witch. It must be very weird for her to see, but it must also be very weird in the sense that being a person that is capable of something like this is what people were accusing you of. Must be awful knowing that. And just must be quite funny in a way just to see how out of their mind these people are. Yeah. So, I mean, the wish has been granted, but, I suppose at the same time, the road to destruction has been reached. Yeah. Oh, okay. God, this is so weird. But it's censored again. God, that's awful. Yeah, that's interesting. So you get what you want, but you suffer so much so that what you want is not worth having. So I suppose they live a life that's worse than one that would have been lived had they not gotten what they want from the drought. Yeah, fair enough. Very, very malicious. But I suppose that's what people get for making it so that the rain clouds. Sorry, what was I saying? That's what they get for burning her at the stake, really. Yeah. I know. I really do wonder what. Well, maybe love is achieved, but there's so much suffering to get to said love that it's not worth having. Jakobos kind of a good example of that. He has so much suffering that his love with, just because of Maria, the suffering he experiences to get the love of the white-haired girl. I mean, I suppose the white-haired girl does still love him, and if anything, she goes insane. Well, not really insane, but she loses herself in the love. But at the same time, he can never see it, and even though that love does exist, I suppose, he can never have said love just because of the fact that there's too much that's stopping him from doing so. So there is love, but he's suffering so much that the love is not anything worthwhile. Interesting. God, so did they do it in spite of discrimination? What about the witch's parents, by the way? True. I mean, I'm sorry, but at the same time, sure, this is the case, but folklore was very, very tied with reality, and it was another way of explaining reality in times like these. I mean, do these people have any concept of safety for their kid? True. Yeah. That's true. He didn't mention that, but at the same time, it could be the case. I really do wonder. But then again, she is somebody who has had discrimination upon discrimination from being accused of us being a witch. Obviously, it's going to be scary if you meet a person who is actually a witch. But I do wonder, she would treat a witch differently to how the average person would, I think. True. Yeah, that must be quite shit. Yeah. Yeah, totally reasonable. I think it's properly reasonable because firstly well, I mean, when did this curse exist though? I thought it existed after the witch was burnt to the stake, and then obviously precipitation happened and that caused everyone to go mad. Or maybe that legend happened before and that was what caused that story caused her to be killed. I just kind of had the impression that the story of the burning at the stake was the first time her legend was seen, but no, I suppose that's a proof for the legend. Interesting, yeah. So my question is the witch still there? Obviously not in the present, but here. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is a bit scary. So they are going up stairs, cramped stairs, very, very high series of stairs as well. Sorry, I meant to say amount, but yeah, you get what I mean. It's a bit creepy. Yeah, but is it the case that her curiosity is going to be granted no matter what suffering is going to happen as a result of it? You never know if a tale like this is true, I don't know. It just feels like something that could be. Especially considering... I don't know, just this weird stuff in the backlog. It just kind of gives me the impression that there is definitely something which is alive. Yeah, fair enough. God, here we go. An endlessly stretching staircase. Nothing in the backlog, I'm surprised. Fair enough. Oh my god, so this is the door. Wow. This is going to be so exciting, and it must be so creepy to live in a mansion where it feels like it has so much distance that something like this really could be something that exists. God, I wonder if we're going to see Morgana. Of course. How weird. God, this art style just looks so different to everything that we've seen before. Yeah. God, and that was me thinking that this was going to be some sort of really important location that we were only able to go to when we have learned everything. I thought I thought Morgana had the... I don't know. Well, she's dead. She's been burnt to the stake. But I don't know, if she's a witch, then surely there's more to life than just having your body be killed. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking, actually. I'm just a bit scared, so I'm just making ridiculous assumptions, I think. Yeah. How weird. This is just such an undramatic scene. I thought there would be so much more to this. What? Interesting. Exactly. Oh shit, what's this? Oh my god, it's her. Oh my god, he's properly feeling romantic feelings for her now. What a weird CG. Looks very scary, actually. What happened to the background? I like the background. Her ear. What happened to her ear? Yeah, reasonable. And it's not just beauty on the outside appearance, it's beauty on the inside too. If I'm going to be honest, I do think she looks a bit... She just looks... I'm sorry, she just looks scary in this CG. But we know that she's harmless. It's horrible, this. Really reminds me of the story of the white-haired girl. One of them, the one in chapter 1. Yeah. Yeah, reasonable. I mean, to be fair, if you're having a legend like this, what caused that original desire? There must have been a lot of pain to cause her wanting to give people misfortune, even though their desires have been granted. Yeah, fair enough, because even though she's what the fuck? Oh my god. A very pessimistic viewpoint. If you trust, I mean, it's inevitable. People will always abandon you. It may not be by choice, it may be by death. Or it may be by their, I don't know, malicious intent, maybe changed intent to when you originally knew this person and you were originally able to trust them. God. It's hilarious. Is she talking to us? Okay. God. It's like when in World War II where you'd have those letters that were sent home, but they had to be manually checked just so that somebody had to literally read the content of other people's letters just so that nothing important would be included that could possibly be intercepted and be used to learn about the enemy. I mean, seriously, it feels like that. Fair. Dude, what the actual fuck is going on? What is going on? So you can either choose to embrace fantasy, which is clearly not real, or you can make it so that this is not the case. I wonder. Yeah, true. That's interesting. Who are we, man? Well, you have a wish. How much suffering is going to come as a result of said wish? Sorry, wish. I meant, be careful what you wish for if I'm going to be honest. You would be. Fair. Yeah. You're looking at your wish right now. Interesting. Imagine if we're Giselle. Yeah. Interesting. Anybody should be. God, that's brutal. Yeah, you just have two lovers who they are never able to experience physical connection. And this is the furthest they can do. They can imagine it. There is a lot of power in imagination, sure, but yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, what? Ah, we're back now. With dialogue actually being shown in the backlog. I sound like a fucking reporter. And now dialogue is being shown in the backlog. Fucking dull. That's the way I'm talking. Interesting. So even with this and reading a story in the fireplace and just in general all of the weird stuff that Morgana has been telling us in the backlog, yeah, there's still a feeling of persecution and madness that has arisen as a result of said persecution. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's cruel. True. But Michel's got to be very careful because he could accidentally imagine too vividly and then boom, love of your life is dead. And then there's the question of why do you have any point in living if she's dead? Because let's be honest, I mean, somebody like this is very, very nice to have around, but when you learn how good it is, you just probably can't accept life without her. Yeah, reasonable. I just hate this, man. I'm sorry, I know what is being done is fucking cool. I won't deny. But I'm just so sad that I can't really enjoy this really, really sweet and touching romantic story just because I have that sense of fear in my mind. But that's what the story is trying to achieve, because these memories are all false. This is a false retelling of said story. And we are just being influenced by how the maid is retelling the story. So if we're looking at a false retelling of what happened, then I suppose we should be made to feel aware of the fact that it is false. Fair. It's not, no. Oh god. God, what now? Oh, scary. I don't know what I'm going to see. Okay. Nothing in the backlog? Okay. Right. The blood of the witch. Oh shit, it's 2 AM. Damn. Fucking hell, man. I'm actually quite relieved to have finished that session just because, oh my god, it's just such a thrill, this experience, really, just having one story told and knowing that said story is incorrect and said story is wrong. Because I really do wonder, is this the witch's hand? That's my question now. Is that the witch's hand? Who knows? But, yeah. God, a very, very interesting story and so sweet. All of the romance that we were seeing, that it may be false, but it is very sweet and it's touching and it's a really nice story in general. Yeah, but like the maid says, misfortune is creeping near, apparently. It's just a love that you wouldn't want to be affected whatsoever, and yet it is. Oh yeah, what can we see? Oh yeah, ending list. Very useful. So this story this is not a visual novel I'd expect to have multiple endings. I haven't actually read, God, these transitions take a long time. So we can't do anything else. Let's just read these two. God, what a brutal CG. Yeah. Innate. Isn't it interesting how that's put? Just with such a lack of hope and such a instinct, such an indication of instinct of causing misfortune, which, I mean, Yukimasa, did he really have that? Yeah. Your lover is the beast. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Oh, okay, so this just gives you the entire story. That's cool. Anyway, I'll go to bed now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm really excited. this story is just getting more and more interesting. Both parts of both parts of the story are getting more interesting. So you've got the romance getting more interesting, but simultaneously, what the story truly is getting more interesting. It really is. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.